In northern Kenya, every election we replace most of our leaders because the manner in which we go about our democratic exercise or choice or right of franchise is determined by, of course, our level of understanding and education. Literacy rate in this part of the country is said to be almost, illiteracy rate is almost about 80%. Democracy as a system of government or governance requires an enlightened people who are vigilant and conscious of their rights and are well informed and who can make an informed choice. Our people cannot make an informed choice, and therefore, once they cannot make an informed choice based on somebody's performance, then you see the outcome of a democratic exercise becomes very irrelevant. So that has been now replaced by clan, that has been replaced by negotiated democracy, which is not serving the people well, that has been replaced by, politicians or aspirants ensuring that they corrupt the system of negotiated democracy. Therefore, why we replace our leaders every 5 years in northern Kenya is, number one, we can't make an informed choice. We can't determine who has performed and who has not performed. The criteria we subject them to is not based on performance. We don't look at that completely. Somebody might have performed overwhelmingly to a certain degree, but that is not a factor that determines whether he or she will be elected or re-elected. What will determine is whether a group of elders have sat somewhere and selectively selected a candidate based on his clan and how majority his clan is and how big his pocket is. And that is now, once selection is not based on performance, then all other factors will override it.
The other question is, what will be the impact on the long term?
The impact in the long term is that we are going to be producing one-term political leaders at an unprecedented rate. Right now, since the onset of devolution, we have dozens of 20-year to 30-year-olds who have once served as an MCA and carry the name Heshimua by virtue of having been an MCA and are no longer enjoying those privileges. And therefore, they all over now, all of them are political grassroots leaders. They shape public opinion, and that number is ever rising. We will always have rookies and greenhorns as political leaders. The problem will recur. We will have people who are greenhorns in politics, will be again learning everything afresh, and that is the way to go. And institutional memory of leadership will not be there. Everybody will be a newcomer. Every MP who will serve elders is associated with the development because they have the longest serving MP in the country. And that has helped him develop his country because he understands the institutions, systems and structures of this country. He is not a greenhorn who is awaiting induction or orientation. He is part of those who are doing the induction and the orientation. So the disadvantage of electing fresh leaders every time is that you expect your leadership to be fresh, to be new, to be green and everything. You have to give it a year or two to understand what is happening in the country and the dynamics, and that is the disadvantage.